Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short-form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. Movies is a pretty decent size, actually. So yeah, I'm very excited about this section. Let's get into follow-ups and corrections. These are all follow-ups. I don't believe there are any corrections. I don't know. I guess this first one could be kind of sort of a correction. So in our live episode last Friday, we talked with Christopher Ortiz, who was a regular subscriber to the YouTube channel, as well as following me on other social medias, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Ortiz. Either way, we were talking a lot about Ghostbusters for the news portion because we just had Ghostbusters Day, so a lot of stuff was announced. We touched on it briefly in the last regular episode, and now we have a little bit of a follow-up. If you will remember, we again talked about this in more detail on Friday. If you will remember, there is not only an animated series that is coming in the Ghostbusters universe, but there is a new animated movie that is going to as well. The new animated movie now has a director, Jennifer Kluska. I believe it's actually two directors, though it was a little vague because different sources have it listed and worded differently. So Jennifer Kluska is the one that everyone seems to agree is going to be directing, and then Chris Prionsky, Kluska directed the B movie, or had something to do with the B movie anyway. Jerry Seinfeld's animated movie where he's a bee. Anyway, Chris Prionsky is a contributor to the Metalocalypse universe, so that's pretty huge, but it's unclear if he's director, assistant director, co-director, what the situation is there. But either way, both of these two are going to be the creatives towards the top of the creative chart for this movie. That seems to bode pretty well because even though B-movie, there's, scientific issues with B-movie, that's irrelevant to the storytelling, kind of. And the storytelling was actually pretty good. And then Metalocalypse is classic. So pretty fair combination of talent there. Next, we are talking about One Punch Man. We did not touch on the other piece of news that led into this previously because we don't generally talk about the Fast and Furious movies on this show, but Justin Lin has been brought in to direct the live-action One Punch Man movie. Justin Lin, again, worked on Fast and Furious movies and notably left that franchise about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And now it's been announced that at least since then, maybe not because of him leaving, but since he left, he is now going to be working on the One Punch Man live action project that we touched on, I think, like 3+ months ago. So it took me a second to remember, oh yeah, that is a thing that's happening. And then we have Across the Spiderverse, the new Spider-Man animated movie coming to Sony. We now know who one of the main villains is going to be. It's going to be the Spot. It seems that the Spot is going to be the primary villain, the way a lot of the news outlets are reporting on this. Spider-Man is not one of my big ones, so this character was pretty new to me. He has spots on him that he can use to teleport through different universes and can use them as weapons, and sounds pretty interesting. Also kind of sounds like the way they presented Polka Dot Man in the Peacemaker series, but not Peacemaker, what was it? Suicide Squad movie. That's not generally Polka Dot Man's powers, but in the Marvel side of things, we have a couple of mutants with similar powers that seems very interesting. I don't know, just pretty awesome. I'm very interested for this next movie to come out. I'm really interested to see how many villains they actually pack in here and how that impacts the story and blah, blah, blah. So we will be keeping tabs on this as it progresses. Okay, so we're into news, and this first piece is kind of a confirmation of a rumor, and we'll get to that portion of it in the rumor section. But we have the Joker 2 is apparently happening. Currently, the subtitle is Joker Folie Deux, which translates into something for two. I can't remember exactly. I had it written down at one point, but I don't see it in the notes now, so that's very weird. It was written, once again, by Todd Phillips, this time also with Scott Silver. Todd Phillips, again, is going to be directing. Everything else that is being reported on about this movie, aside from its existence and the existence of a script which has found its way into Joaquin's hands, everything else is rumor. So again, we will get to that in the rumors section. But Folie Deux, something for two. Why can't I remember that? That's so silly. Anyway, we have to move on. And then we have a really interesting one. This probably should have gone in follow-ups, but this seems to be a little bit more legit, so we had to give it a little bit more space to breathe. And Silent Hill, Christophe Gans, who directed the first movie, I believe, and not the second live-action movie, was talking with a French language podcast called JeuxVideo. JeuxVideo. And he has said that there is not only one, but two scripts in existence for the Silent Hill franchise. One of these scripts is a brand new start to the franchise. It tells a completely different story. Doesn't sound like that one is going to head in any meaningful direction, at least not yet. The other script is a kind of sort of continuation that he makes it sound like is going to be going into active production into sometime next year. So 2023, according to Christophe Gans, who is, again, the director of one of the existing movies, 2023 is going to be the year that we see production start on a Silent Hill movie, and it's a mixed bag, I'm not gonna lie. Could be fantastic, could be mediocre like the second movie, could be good, but not great like the first movie. Only time will tell. Let's move right along. We also have new announcement of a Batman movie that's going to be coming to HBO Max directly. It's an animated Batman movie called Batman Azteca, Choque de Imperios. I might not be saying that correctly, and I apologize, but it translates to Clash of Empires in Spanish. It is going to be... All right, so we have. I'm just going to read the blurb because that's why it's here. It was announced during the 37th Guadalajara International Film Festival. Batman Azteca marks the first ever collaboration between Warner Brothers Animation, Particular Crowd, Mexico's Anima, and Chatrone, a producer of Book of Life. The Spanish language animated film will drop the Dark Knight into Mesoamerica culture and Aztec Mexico, and is an original story for the streamer. Production will take place in Mexico and utilize local talent to fill out the cast. So it is going to be a Spanish language Batman animated movie. Very interesting. Some of the artwork looks really cool, not gonna lie. So yeah, intrigued by this, though my Spanish is fairly rusty, so I'm probably gonna have to watch it with subtitles, not gonna lie. That is all of our news for the movies section. So, movie suggestion this week is The Animatrix. You probably saw this one coming from the TV streaming section, but Animatrix, it is a collection of 9 short films that all tell various stories inside of the world of the Matrix rather. It is really damn good, especially the Flight of the Osiris and then the 2 history videos. I can't remember their names off the top of my head because I didn't write them down, but yeah, just all 9 of them are absolutely worth a watch. The kid short factors into the second movie pretty directly, though non-consequentially, if that makes any sense. Yeah, they're just animation-wise, just storytelling-wise, it is a beautiful art. Go watch The Animatrix. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long-form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.